Algebra 2, Lesson 103, Advanced Polynomial Division. Don't let the word advanced scare you. Just because the numbers look different and the problem looks scarier, the rules do not change. You can always just find some comfort in that fact. So what they mean by advanced is there's no more numbers anymore. And let's be honest, the numbers weren't doing much for us anyway in these problems. They're just kind of confusing. So now we're going to be doing polynomial division, but there's no more coefficients, no more whole numbers. It's just variables and exponents. So let's go ahead and get started. We know how to set this up. We're going to take x cubed plus 3y divided by x plus y. So we're going to go over here. We're going to put x plus y in our, oh man, how did I mess that up? Okay, we're going to take x plus y. We're going to put it in our divisor spot. And then inside we're going to have x cubed, and normally we would put in 0x squared, 0x1, etc. Instead, we're just going to put a blank. We'll just leave a blank, and then we realize that we're going to eventually have plus y cubed at the end. All right. Now the reason why we leave the blank is because we could also have x2 y1, x1 y2. There's a lot of different variables we could have. So instead of us knowing exactly what those are going to be, we're just going to leave it blank, and then we'll find out what they are as we go along. It's okay. It'll be all right. So the rules aren't changing. Instead of me adding, 0 in here, I'm just going to have, 0 be there. Instead of me putting 0x squared, 0x1, I'm just going to let the whole blank space be 0 because I'm not exactly sure what term it's going to be yet. Now, checking is still the same. I take the first term into the second term, and I'm going to see what x3 over x2 is. Or sorry, over x is, I'm trying to give away the answer again. x3 over x is just going to give me x2, so the first term is going to be x squared. Now we'll go to our multiplication step. X squared times x gives me x cubed, x squared times xy, or times y gives me plus x2y, right? There I go to the subtraction step where I change not one but both signs. That becomes a negative, and that becomes a negative. And then here, now I'm going to go ahead and put my 0 term because I know what it is, right? So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to put 0x squared y because I know that it's 0x squared y now. So that's all I did there. I just didn't know what it was going to be. So there, I add, these cancel, I get negative x squared y. All right, and then I'm going to check again. Okay, so x goes into x squared y how many times? Well, let's take x squared y. We'll put it over x. What cancels? Well, the squared does. And then I get left with xy. All right. Oh, and this is negative, right? So that's going to be negative xy. Sorry, I forgot about the negative. So then the next term is going to be minus xy. Right? So still using all the exact same steps. It just, looks a little bit different. Now I'm going to take negative xy and I'm going to FOIL. Negative xy times x gives me negative x squared y. Negative xy times plus y gives me negative xy squared. Okay. Now we go to the subtraction step. I change not one but two signs. I know that this top term now is going to be xy squared, so I put plus 0 xy squared. Go ahead and add those. This one cancels, and then I just get left with xy squared. Now, same thing again. I'm going to check how many times will x go into xy squared. So let's take xy squared. We'll divide it by x. That cancels, so it's going to go in y squared times. And that's positive, right? So then I put plus y squared, and then I'm going to multiply. What color am I on? Purple. All right, so then y squared times x gives me xy squared. Y squared times y gives me plus y cubed. And cool thing I see here, hey, I'm down to y cubed, so I can bring this y cubed down now. That's plus y cubed. And then I go to the subtraction step where I change both signs. That becomes minus. That becomes minus. This cancels, and this one cancels. I'm left with 0. That was a perfect division. So my answer is x squared minus xy plus xy. Or plus y squared. Man. X squared minus xy plus y squared. Whew. Okay. That's it for advanced polynomial division. So it's all the exact same steps. The only difference being the 0 terms in the middle. We don't put them because we don't know what they're going to be. We just kind of feel it out. As soon as we figure out what the term is, then you can put it up there. And honestly, if you look at the book, you can get away with doing this without putting the 0 terms at all. You just kind of keep working until you get all the way to your last term. And then, sometimes your last term will cancel out and become 0. So works out pretty nicely. That's it for advanced polynomial division. If you have any questions, let me know on Moodle, and I will see you in class.